Hi, I want to tell you about a couple exciting interviews I did. So I'm working this podcast. It's named, or we call the show, Look Who's in the House with Michael. And in the last couple weeks, I had some great interviews. I got the lovely opportunity to interview the two partners of Signature Premier Properties. This is the #1 brokerage on Long Island with almost 20 offices right now, maybe a little more. And they both were happy to give me their time in the studio. I had two great interviews. The first one was with Pete Morris, and the second one was Kathy Biard, who's actually the broker on record here. So I want you to check those out, like and subscribe. They're very exciting, and thank you. And please share my videos if you like them.
Today, I'm fortunate to have Pete Morris. He is the principal at Signature Premier Properties in East Oakport here. Thank you for coming to the... I'm sure I look at the camera. Yeah, the birth count. Get the camera. So I'm just going to help things out a little bit here and loosen you up a little bit because I know your style and you like a little bit of the art stuff. Yeah, why not? So Pete, I want to kind of get to know you a little bit today. You know, figure out a little bit more about you. I feel like you might have crossed paths in our youth, right? I'm a little older than you, but still. Where were you born and raised? I was born and raised on Long Island in Seaford. That's good. Thanks. So Seaford with in Canada. So I thought so. You ended up in. You started in Seaford.
Started in Seaford.
Okay.
Elementary school, and then my dad owned a little record label. He was a musician. He sold his label.
So does that explain the stuff up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. So your dad was a musician. What did he?
He was a songwriter.
He played piano, guitar, riffing.
He played piano. He played violin. He was in jazz. You know, they wrote a few hit songs. Wrote "Sweet Talking Guy" by the Chevelles. It's amazing, man. That's amazing. Claims he wrote "Smoking in the Boys' Room" and didn't get credit. They put it in the first time, but he had a record company called Big Tree Records, and he signed a band called Brownsville Station, who did "Smoking in the Boys' Room."
I know that.
He had Flames. He had a few hits at one time. He had them. He had a band called Hot Chocolate.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. And he had a band called England, Dan, and John Ford Coley.
Yeah.
So we had 3 hits at once.
Wow.
And Atlantic Records bought his label.
So
now we moved to Cold Spring Harbor.
All right. So before we go, now you go backwards. He's a musician and a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He takes that, parlays that into production and creating a label, or he go right to creating a label.
Not sure.
All right. Not sure. You probably don't remember this. I come from a musical family.
Oh, okay.
I played professional drums for a long time for my dad. My dad was a professional sax clarinet player. We did the townhouse, all the places I'm going. My grandfather was a professional guitar player. Anything with a string.
Really?
And a kazoo, amazing. My wife's father brought her family over from Ireland as a professional drummer with an agent. So they came over, they played on the Jack Parr show. My brother-in-law was a professional drummer, went to Pace University. And my son's a musician, plays 5 instruments, and is a producer now. So that's kind of a cool piece to lay us together, you know? Yeah, I'm good. Cool. And so, did your mom work?
No.
All right.
She was on with us.
So you graduated high school while you were still in Lindhurst?
No, I was in Seaford. I moved to Seaford. We moved in when I was in like 5th grade.
Okay.
And then went to Cold Spring Harbor, graduated there.
Okay. What did you do at the school? First of all, before you graduated school, sports, music, yourself, anything?
My hobbies? Played a lot of tennis. Played on the tennis team. A lot of tennis as a kid.
Looks good.
I was better when I was 12 years old than I am now.
Yep, scale sports. Now I get why you're really hot for pickleball.
Oh yeah, no.
It's your older version of tennis.
No one's beat me in tennis. You can say that comment.
You're a ringer. After they see this interview, they're all in and up. They tried. All right. So then what'd you do even at high school? What was the next thing?
I went to Syracuse University.
Okay. You studied?
Psych major. It was pretty good for 1,600 realtors every day.
Really? Yeah. It's so random, psychology.
So it was easy. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do.
Okay. So that was it? It just fell into that. You didn't think you were going to become a psychiatrist?
No, I just thought it was an easy major.
So, did you play sports at school? Did you play tennis?
Played racquetball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you left school, what was the next move after college?
I went right as a sales agent at Coach Realtors. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be my own boss.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So I thought you were into building.
No. I worked at Coach from 21 to 25.
Wow.
I got into building because I picked up a client who was a builder. And he was a young builder, and I was finding him all his lots, and we became best friends.
Okay.
And then one day I found a really cheap lot. I found a lot on the corner of Broadway and Park Avenue in Huntington.
Yeah.
I was soliciting for off-market land, and I found one, and she told me that she was in contract on the lot. And then I got a call a few days later telling me the contract fell through. And I said, well, what was the price? Somebody was buying it for $11,000. Son on Boneses.
Maybe it's 1994.
So I grew up down the street in Greenlawn.
Oh, really? Yes, you probably know the lot. It was that little yellow Huntington.
Freaking shit. Jumped in there with the shoehorn. Busy corner.
Yeah, busy corner.
I passed it recently going to my attorney's office.
It was $14,000. We sold the house for $129,900. Cost us $58,000 to build the house. So we're killing.
Are you just on the northwest corner, like opposite the police station? The precinct, right?
No, we're on the south. The south corner.
Okay, got it.
Southwest corner.
So if you take Broadway towards Greenlawn,
Yep.
back way into my neighborhood is Sinclair
Yeah.
to Burns Court, basically.
Yep.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we sold that lot.
So wait a minute. I'm right now. I'm stuck in my head with this picture of you wearing a gold blazer. Do you have
No, it wasn't a Century 21. Oh, shit. I was too excited. No, they were great to me. They're good people. Larry and Georgiana Finn. Georgiana was my manager. Treated me great. Kathy Viard was she's probably number one in the whole company at Coach when I went there. And, we became friends.
Right on. All right. So you're selling as an agent, and you get connected with a builder, and you somehow not become
I was selling them 10 lots a year and getting the resales and doing other business sites. I did pretty well at the beginning. And then when I found him this lot, I told him, I said, I found this lot for what it was, 14, 15 grand. I said, he goes, I'll take it. And I go, not this one, bro.
then you grab it.
And I grabbed it. I need another broker. I need a new agent. Oh, go find a new agent. I don't care.
Okay.
We made a deal. I put up the land. He put up the house. I handled the sale. We split the profits, and we did well. And then we probably built probably 1,000 homes together on the island.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Great Recession hit, and he was the smart one. He saw it coming.
So your skill set that you're bringing is not the actual building construction. It's the real estate side of it, the know-how, the property management piece.
Finding the deals. Yeah, I was the deal finder.
That's the hardest part, isn't it?
The deal finder. I handled the sales. He was the builder who built the house.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is all new to me. In all our conversations, I never knew any of this.
Yeah.
This is great.
We did a lot of land flipping, everything.
So,
But I always kept my real estate license. I never let it go. Anybody found me a lot, I always gave them the resale. So that's how I found all my land, because land was hard to come by, and I was always very loyal. I had one at Prudential, I had one at Caldwell, I had one at Century 21, I had one in each shop. So when they got that land exclusive, they all brought it to me because they knew I'd take care of the broker.
doesn't it feel like
Even if I sold it myself, I'd still pay with, back then it was 6%. Commissions have come down, but
you paid it forward? That's what you did. You did the right thing.
always. There was a lot of money in the deal. I'd pay him 10% because I wanted him to keep bringing me land.
Doesn't it feel like it's always been hard to find land or houses here? How many times does a cycle?
Well, if you're looking for a lot, it's impossible to find, right? And you're doing it for a living and that's all you focus on, you always come across something,
Okay.
you know?
It's on your radar.
Like doing detective work.
So along the way, while this is happening, when do we get married, start having kids? Well, how's that all look in the personal life?
Personal life, I got married young at 25. I made it 18 years. And
It's good.
yeah,
How many children?
I had 3 girls.
First marriage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not that young for us. I was married at 23. My first kid was 26, and that was normal. It wasn't weird.
Yeah, no, all my friends are married, you know.
Now everybody's 40, 35.
Me and my ex are good friends, and it's all good. My oldest daughter works here. She's teaching KD core to the agents. Yeah, my middle one's going to be a vet. She's in vet school, and my little one's working here for the summer, but she's at Boston College. She's got 2 more years.
Was she studying psych?
No, she is studying business.
Sad. I want to get a psych degree. Can you pay for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure. That's great. That's great stuff. So, I want to kind of get into a little bit more about your real estate career. When did you transition and decide to become like a broker and start your own thing? When did that all happen?
2007.
So how many years were you doing the real estate before you?
Both. I was building, I sold for a few years, and then I built for probably 15 years. Even, let me think about that too. No, from 95 to, probably, 15, 20 years.
So what motivated you to go do your own thing?
It really was a win. My partner saw the bubble bursting.
7, yeah, sure.
He saw it bursting.
Yeah.
We had a big company. We had 4 project managers. We had an attorney on staff. We had an architect. We were the real deal. We were building probably 30 homes at a time. And we had financing in place, private lending. We had credit lines. We were always hiring for Peter to pay Paul to get these projects done. And he didn't want the stress anymore. He was like, Pete, the bubble's going to burst and we're going to get caught with our pants down. And I don't want the stress. I want to build 4 houses a year, cherry pick my lots, and play a lot of golf.
That was literally my question before you said it. I was going to say, that must have been a lot of stress.
And it was. Brought us here. We always needed enough land to keep 4 guys going. So sometimes you have to pay for shit to, because you have to keep them working.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was frugal, and he still had his bar mitzvah money saved. And I, on the other hand, went and got the big house with the bullet, this and that, and I didn't want to hear it. So I was full steam ahead, and I said the bubble's not going to burst. And I ended up taking the company, and he walked away, and we're still best friends.
Sure.
But he handed it over and gladly rode into the sunset, and he's never lost money on a house his whole life. Since I've been doing it without him, I've lost plenty.
So in terms of stress, you took the company over by yourself, heading into what might have been.
Yeah, no, I got hurt, but not terribly, because I'm smart enough to know the market's a function of price.
Yeah.
So if you're building a house and there's $100,000 in the job,
yeah,
I dropped my price $100,000 and got rid of it. A lot of builders would never accept reality and would always want 3, 4, 5% more than the market could bear, and they just chase the market down.
A little greedy instead of just hitting out.
I got out.
Yeah.
But it was hard because I had to let people go that had been with me for a long time, so that's always difficult.
Okay. How long did you continue to run that company by yourself?
Well, I scaled it way back, as I started losing lots. So from 2007 till about 2015, for another 8 years, I ran it on a much smaller scale, because at the same time we started Signature. So I got busy with that, but I didn't make enough money with that to abandon the building. Finally, Signature became big, and I lost interest in building, and so we did well enough that I didn't have to build.
When you started Signature, you were the broker with Kathy? Or Kathy's the broker?
No, what happened, the story is like I said, I had one broker in every office, right?
Yeah.
So I always gave the resale back to the broker that found it.
Okay.
But I also did a lot of detective work myself and found my own lots. I had lots all over the place. So when I built a house on a lot I found myself, I always gave it to an agent. Her name was Barbara Wanamaker. She's actually still in business. She was my favorite out of all the agents I ever dealt with. She knew when to talk, when you had a customer, when not to talk. So we developed an odd friendship. And every time we had a closing, we got in a habit. There's a place in Huntington called Red. We'd go and celebrate and have a glass of wine. And we were chatting one day, and she was with a company called National Home Finders.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd been everywhere. She was at every major company over the years, and she had a following of like 15, 20 agents. Everywhere she went, they all followed. So National Home Finders got bought up by Coldwell Banker. We're having a glass of wine one day. She's complaining to me. I finally found a company I loved. This National Home Finders was great. They treated me great. They weren't corporate. They were family. They were this. They were that. And now I'm back to a company trying to get me to sell title, and they're so corporate, and I have to go to meetings, and I hate it. And I said, what are you going to do? She goes, they're all the same. She goes, I've been everywhere. I go, Barbara, why don't you open up your own shop? I go, you'll have 15 agents follow you tomorrow. She goes, at my age? I said, fuck you, why not? I said, I actually have a piece of property on East Carver Street in Huntington that's vacant right now. Let's make it a real estate office. I'll go laughs with you. And she thought about it and we did it. And true to her form, she brought 15 people. I had so many relationships in the business. I went out and got 15, and we had a small company in Huntington of 30 agents. And Barbara and I grew it together to about maybe 70, 75 agents. And then we didn't see eye to eye on the direction of the company. She wanted to keep it small. She didn't want to expand. And I wanted to grow. So I ended up buying her out.
Pete, you've done quite a bit in your young life. You're a young dad. You really don't
Quite that young anymore.
Yeah, I know. We all that. Yeah, that really, listen, everybody knows I'm 60 and 60 is 40, right? But the truth is, look in the mirror. We don't feel like our age, but really, you accomplished quite a bit. And that's the start of it. We didn't even get to where we are now, which I'm going to come back and do another interview with you because I don't want to, spill the beans all at once. But, so you took the company, you went your own way, you split the company, or she retired?
No, I bought her out.
You bought her out, yeah.
And then she went and opened the place in Huntington called Prime Real Estate.
Okay.
And she has what she wants. She has a nice little company, it's like boutique with a handful of agents, and she's happy. I think. I don't,
But you're ambitious. You're ambitious. Oh, ambitious guy.
Yeah.
You have siblings?
Yeah, I got a brother.
What's he do?
He's in development, commercial, in shopping centers. Okay. Like that. He does really well.
Is he ambitious like you?
Probably more.
Yeah. Was your dad ambitious?
Yeah.
Yeah, because most musicians can't make a life out of just being a musician.
No, my dad.
Say what you love, you got to figure out how to get it to the next level, right?
My dad always taught me, do what you love and you'll be successful.
Yeah, and you make it look fun. That's the piece of signature. You make it look fun. It's not stressful. It's not drop the hammer. It's not intense. It's taking care of agents and trying to have fun here.
Yeah, you try.
Yeah, it's good. So when do we get to actually calling it Signature Premier? When does that go around?
Well, it was called Signature right off the bat. So Coldwell Banker bought out National Home Finders. National Home Finders was actually called National Home Finders Signature Properties. So when we came up for a name of the company, we said, let's call it Signature Properties because it's already known. The name's already known. So we did it. We got a letter from Caldwell saying that they own the name and they were going to sue us if we continued to call it Signature Property. That's where the Premier came.
Okay. And then when did you get your next barber?
Oh, that was a godsend. We were friends as kids working at Coke. And
you say as kids?
Yeah, in our early 20s, so we went to go open a Century 21 franchise. Okay, so she owned Century 21 family in Northport. And when I say family, she had 58 of the most loyal agents you've ever met in your life. Like, nobody ever went after Kathy Viard's agents because, they were Century 21 family. She knew everybody's spouse, everybody's kid, everybody's grandkid, family fun days at the beach.
Yeah.
But she became a victim of the Great Recession, and she's so nice that she was still selling for a living, but because her agents were struggling, she was giving them all her business, and she couldn't keep the doors open. It happened to everybody. So I met with her, and I said, come to Signature.
This is around 08, 09, somewhere around there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was 09.
Yeah.
And she, I said, come to Signature. She said, well, I'm bringing you 40 agents. What do I get? And at the time, I wasn't making a lot of money, so I said, well, I'll give you a job managing the Huntington office, small salary, and other companies that offered her a lot of money for her place, and she didn't want to work for them. And she took a leap of faith, came as the Huntington manager for a small salary, got a bigger salary, and then managed 2 offices, and then got a small piece of the company, then more of the company, and then I said, I can't do it without her, and we became partners.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? If it wasn't for Kat, Signature would be a third of what it is. She's the brains.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So we're gonna post this interview, pieces of it on TikTok. We'll be on Instagram. We'll be on Facebook. Please like and subscribe. The full-length interview with Pete will be on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And I don't have respectful Pete's time. I want to keep it short and sweet for everybody. We're going to come back. We're going to know part 2 at another point.
All right.
Is that cool?
You got it. Listen, cheers, man. Got it. Thank you for your time. Nice to meet you.